Hey, what's up, y'all? Back again with another video. So, I want to talk about when people don't apologize and how badly you want them to apologize. Because I've been there. I've been there when I would stress myself out at the fact that an individual would not say sorry, and I would expect them to because they were like a family member or a partner, whatever, right? Someone you really care about, and they are committed to not saying sorry. So, with dealing with people who have not said sorry to you and you know that you deserve that, it can make you go crazy. It can make you mad. It can make you sad. It can even get you unbalanced. I've experienced all of those symptoms when it came to people not apologizing and questioning my own worth of why they were not apologizing to me, even though it was right there in everyone's face, my face, and their face, that they did what they did. And they would struggle with saying sorry. For me, I would be the first one to always say sorry and always admit my wrongs, but it was never being reciprocated with the people that I was around. It was very occasionally that people would admit when they were wrong and be open and vulnerable, and we move along with our day being on the same page. And if something else happens, then we would talk about it. I would get that very rarely. So what it was is that I was putting too much pressure on receiving the sorry. So I started to just let it go and hold on to my personal truth of what I know I see and feel within this dynamic. And do I want to continue to put myself out there with that individual, and how to treat them when I am dealing with them, how to just keep things surface level with them. So when someone doesn't want to say sorry to you, what I started to do was accept that they didn't say sorry. Then I navigate it within myself of what do I want to talk to them about, or do I need to distance myself with them? And I do. And I don't engage with a lot of conversation with them at all. And even then, my feelings would get hurt with that because I wanted the relationship, but it takes two to keep a relationship going, right? So it can't just be you and you depleting yourself in that relationship. So you have to continue being your best self and holding on to that truth. And then also tapping into the fact that maybe they don't know how to say sorry. Maybe they are embarrassed. Mind you, that's still not an excuse, right? It's not. But it helps guide you on what you do with yourself at the end of the day. So with learning that people don't value accepting when they are wrong, I have to accept that first. And also I have to set a energetic boundary that I don't want to engage with them like that anymore. Some people will try to, what I missed, what I didn't realize, especially when I was younger, because this would happen all the time. When someone knows, a grown person knows that they're wrong, they will try to pay you through things. And that is their sorry without saying sorry. But you don't even know that's going on. So because I didn't know that was going on, the loop will continue. The loop continued to happen where the same thing, they would do the same thing over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. And then they would pay me with something or buy me something. And I had to understand my own personal value within myself, that I didn't find that valuable. Like, I like things, but I don't want to be paid through a sorry all the time. I want to be paid energetically and communicating with me, because relationships are valuable to me. So you have to know your value, and then things will start to change and people will treat you differently, and they will stop doing what they said that they were going to change. You could bring it up to them and they'll be like, okay, I will change, or they won't say anything. Sometimes they don't even say anything. You will communicate with them and then they won't even say anything at all. But they'll go and turn around and buy you something, and that is their sorry. So with that, I started to say no. I started to say no when people would offer me something. And it was a cover-up for them of feeling bad for what they did, but they're not owning up to it with the conversation, with accountability, with understanding. And because people weren't doing that, I was blindly just accepting everything that people would give me. And so when I started to say no, I noticed that they would get hurt by me saying no. And I didn't understand why they would get hurt from me saying no, because I didn't want it. And I truly didn't want it. And then when I realized why they were getting hurt, it was because they had an agenda, and that was their sorry. That was their way of saying sorry without having to communicate that. So it gives them a chance to come at you in a different way. That's not good enough. Because we've all been there when we've explained ourselves too many times to individuals that we think that are going to understand you, and they just won't, or they don't want to, because they don't want to take accountability. It hurts them too bad to take accountability and to accept that they are not perfect. So if they can't get over that, and you start saying no to certain offers, and that's their sorry, and you didn't even know it, but now you know it, and now I know how to navigate and say no now, and I could pick up on it when someone is doing it that way, and to also not judge them for doing it that way. I just have to be aware and sharp enough to know what's going on, and so that the loop can stop. And you're basically teaching people how to treat you, because not everybody is going to know how to treat you, or even take the time out to ask you, what do you like? Who are you? What are some things that are important to you? If they're not taking the time out to do that, then most of the time you will have to navigate certain people and spaces in that manner, so that you could still be protected. Because it would even make me feel bad, because they felt bad because I said no. And I'm like, what is going on here? So once I started to peep game on that, I say no, and I accept my no, and to not go backwards. Like, we're not going to be perfect. Sometimes your feelings will overtake you, and you end up like, taking their gift or kissing their butt. And when you realize that you're doing that, you can always recover from it and feel that as well, because that stings also. I felt that as well. And so it's all about being comfortable to be who you are and what you value in life, no matter who it is. So when you start to take initiative of who you are as a person and what works for you, then you won't be depleted. You won't get depleted. You will start to feel less and less badly about who you are, because this life has made, I know for myself, has made me feel like if I say no, that's wrong. That's a bad thing to say no, to honor yourself and to put yourself first. Women are supposed to always do for others all the time, and that's absolutely false. Absolutely false. One person can only do so much. One person can only give so much of their time to others and their energy to others without depleting themselves. So is having respectable boundaries with yourself and practicing them over and over and over again until it sinks in. And then you won't even have to think about it, of questioning your no or why you're doing something. It will become second nature. And I think there's a thing with the whole second nature type of deal when it should be first nature. not second nature, but first nature. So don't worry about people who don't say sorry to you. Just learn how to start accepting where they are at. And that's all you can do. And work with that energy and work with how you feel in that energy until those feelings dissipate and you start to commit to yourself. So, yeah. Don't worry about people who don't say sorry. You keep on staying focused on what you want to do and what you want to create. That's what it's about. And don't make it about other people, and don't even judge them anymore for doing what they're doing, because you have to accept people from where they are at, no matter who it is. And once you take yourself out of getting offended by people because of a label they hold in your life, then you will be able to move forward and look at things objectively and first nature. I love y'all. Keep hanging in there. Keep hanging in there, and I will be back again with another video. Peace.